pry back and pull with your hand. There we go. Let's get tearing this RM250 apart. I'm so excited for this video. I love cars to death, but if you are here because of bikes, thank you, welcome to the channel. That is new here. We're gonna be learning a lot of new things, but if you are here because you like cars, I appreciate it more than you know. It's a lot to ask for you to start watching something that's totally different, but I'm excited for you guys to come learn, that you're slightly interested in learning how to build dirt bikes as I am. I grew up racing motocross and all that. I've talked about in the previous video about buying this bike, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you check out the playlist for the RM250 build and don't get behind and make sure you're caught up. So first things first, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab a cinder block because I don't even have a stand yet. I did a little DMing, I did a little emailing, and I got a lot of sick parts. I'm like overwhelmed for the bike coming, so this is gonna be so sick. I can't wait. Down to gear, down to bike parts, down to graphics, plastics, you name it. This bike is gonna be exactly how I wanna do it, and you guys know me with modding things out to the 10th degree, 9th degree, whatever you want to call it. But I am going to be using a lot of stock parts, and we're going to be maybe powder coating for the first time, Cerakoting for the first time. We're going to be doing some things to make sure that this bike does not look like anything stock, but we also didn't spend 15 grand on this dirt bike either. We're going to show you how to do it. I watched a lot of videos from some other people and did a lot of learning and researching, so I'm super pumped for this build. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let's get out a cinder block and get this thing off the wall back there and ready to rock for tearing apart. Now, real quick also, Karma Driving Club, should we do something on this wall for moto? Maybe Karma Riding Club, or I don't know. Toss out some ideas, let me know what you think. Let's get this bike up. Maybe a little skate check. It needs practice. First things first, we got our shrouds, 8mm bolts with washers. These are called the shrouds. There's a list for Amazon of tools that you need now. So a lot of the times on dirt bikes I've had in the past, these are stripped out and they're like zip tied on or something. This was taken care of. I'm super happy about that. Next thing we're gonna do is probably go the other side, do that side. Sometimes the washers stick to the plastic, that's okay. That's a 10mm in there, this bolt has been replaced. 10mm up here, let's pull off the seat. Oh, bigger. On the other side. What in the world? I heard it drop in the airbox. So on the other side, this looks like a 10. Slide it out of the tank. If you're new to dirt bikes, there's a hook right here and it slides onto this on the tank. Alright, let's see what we're working with. It's the airbox. This is usually how you can tell people took care of it. Let's get this guy off down here. 10mm. This looks like the original bolt actually. Okay, that just slides out. So this is something new to me, is having the electronics or some portion of it in the airbox. I've never had a dirt bike that's had that. Something that's new to me. Got this little top cover. And this filter doesn't look bad. Definitely can tell it's been sitting for a very long time. And there's really no oil left on it, it's completely dried out. I'm doing this wing nut inside of here. Then I'll pull the air filter off. It's the bolt with that wing nut on it. On the lip inside of here, there's some dirt, but I'm reaching my hand down inside here of the airbox, and it's not too bad. This definitely wouldn't be acceptable for me, but could be worse. Let's go ahead and take the pipe off, or make it loose at least. just cut myself really bad. We got a bleeder. I gotta figure out if there's metal in here. I'll be right back. Alright, where were we? Sliced my thumb open. Next day, I got busy last night. I had to edit the other video that you saw earlier this week. Okay. This bolt is so jacked. Oh, there we go. Look at how bent this bolt is. And that washer right here is what slid through my thumb. Still don't know if there's metal in my thumb. But I got the most of it out. Okay. It's a pretty good pipe. I'm definitely gonna run it for a little bit. We'll test the sound versus the FMF and Bill's pipe probably. Next piece of the puzzle, removing the airbox and rear fender. That's a different size. Got a 12mm. Jeez. Okay, not too bad. Thought it'd be worse. A little leverage does the trick every time. Ooh. Can you see the corrosion on that? That should be alright. We'll put a screwdriver on the other side. Oh, I can pull it out. Rust, dirt, grime. Got this plug in here. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, we got a strap. Oh, and that just comes out. Alright, that was easier than I thought. Subframe, delete. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the pipe off next. On 12mm nut and bolt. I was wondering where my sockets were, and they're underneath on my magnetic bowl that I like so much. That seems to play jokes on me. Tools in the bucket on the chair only. What is going on here? We got like 12 washers. Okay, slip, needle nose, pry back and pull with your hand. There we go. To get this airbox off, we're gonna go ahead, take off the connection to the carburetor, a little screwdriver to loosen this clamp, and it should come right off. It's so funny because the 13-year-old me would never, ever tear a bike down this far and think that I could reassemble it, no problem, back to normal. And like, this compared to a car is the simplest thing. I haven't done everything yet, but I'm talking about tear down. It's just a great way to get into working on things. It's just funny to contrast because the last time I really remember this, I was like between the ages of like 7 and 18 before I got into cars and really working on things. My dad mainly fixed stuff and he didn't have time to tear things down too much, so we never got a ton of hands-on, and my dad just liked to do it, so I just like to watch, and I would just zone out. So this is fun, I'm enjoying it. This is called a petcock, and then this has your fuel line going in your carburetor, but this is an easy way to drain the tank as much as you can out of it until we take it off and dump it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this with a flathead screwdriver or clamp. Ooh, this tube is literally sun rotted bad. I'm gonna wiggle it off. See if we can point this down, open her up. Oh, missed. gas cap. Get some more airflow. Oh, it just soaked. And it made my life harder than it could have been. I could have just left petcock closed and pulled the tank off and poured it upside down, but I decided to make a mess instead, so don't do what I did.
A 15th of amount of bolts on that compared to a normal car.
Right.
Do you care if I use a ratchet?
Go for it. I'm gonna take this thing and leave it outside because it smells like gas. We can see a lot more now. Doesn't look too bad. All the wiring looks original as far as I know. Next up, let's drain the radiator. I'm gonna pull the cap off. See some green in there, so that's not a bad sign. Fins don't look terrible. They don't look awesome. Not really concerned about that. Oh. Coming out everywhere. While that drains, I need to get these radiator shrouds off. I'm just gonna push the tabs in and flex the plastic. You know what? Use my screwdriver, make it easy on myself. Cool. Okay, slides right out. We'll probably get new of these so they look fresh. Take my 8mm. Two of them. Probably don't need to do this, but I just feel like pulling it off. Come on. Oh, there it goes. The old twisteroo. Okay. The other one is right here. There we go. I just had to pry it off with a screwdriver. Same thing as the other side. Let's push out the shrouds. Unclip these. 8mm. Before we pull off the radiator, we're gonna loosen this guy right here. And this is gonna need to come off. And the whole radiator came off. Next up, let's get this carburetor off. We got a little screw right here. I think that's the only thing that holds it on. Got this throttle cable. Pry it out. Cool. These plugs need to be taken off. Just for safety, I'm gonna take a heat gun to these. Oh, perfect, that's all I needed was a little heat. Let's do the other one. Okay, this one seems better. Be very careful. Whew, we're in the clear. Pulling the throttle cable out of the throttle body. Okay, that's good news. Now I'm going to unscrew the throttle cable from the throttle body. I believe it's called, if I remember right. Keep on going, almost there. Alright, now our carburetor will be free. Don't want to lose this. Alright, we're going to loop our throttle cable. And there goes our carburetor. I wasn't thinking straight. Now our carburetor is completely free. Do something sick. Nice. Next thing I'm gonna do, 8mm, pull off the chain guard. or case saver slash guard from your leg. This is the case saver part, so that chain comes off. It just slaps this instead of hitting your case, because the case is kind of the expensive part. Whoever's getting the snap ring pliers, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the chain. Try to at least. This looks pretty rusted on here. Like metallic blue. It was cool, but it was... I was able to use this little pick to get the snap ring off with the help of the pliers. The pliers don't work perfect. Got a Renthal. It's like we got a 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Normal gearing. Well, that doesn't feel bad. That's a good sign. Put it in gear. This side has 10s. Got this fork guard off first. Oh. This one's missing a bolt on the side. You have your cable for front brake. Loosen it up. Let's just take these all the way off. Take a look at all the pieces of the puzzle. We're down to the bare bike except the motor. We got the rear swing arm to take off. We got the rear shock to take off. And some of the electronics, the bars, levers, and triple clamps, forks, brakes. I'm really excited to make progress on this. This is probably the least intimidating project I've had in a while. The car stuff does get pretty in depth, and the car stuff is easy to some people, and now bikes are a little easier to me. So building confidence in the garage is awesome. I hope these videos help you guys conquer a dirt bike now, a little different than cars. Maybe this is something that you're like, wow, I didn't really want to work on my car, but the dirt bike looks kind of fun. Let's go find something for 500 bucks, 2,000 bucks. You know, turn around and sell it or ride it for a little bit and keep it, whatever you want to do. Why we are not going any farther on this is because I gotta get to bed early. We're doing the STI engine tomorrow. It's gonna be like a 3-4 day process of filming 8 hours a day, Cody teaching us everything. It's gonna be so much work, but so worth it. You guys miss this car as much as I do. It seems like I've gotten so many comments and messages. It's insane. Everyone's wondering, where's the STI build? It's finally happening. Hopefully, if we don't run into any more issues like we did last time, we went to start it a couple months ago, ran into more issues, had to order more parts because they were messed up and blah, 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 blah. It's a lot, but we will get started on the engine build soon and get that torn apart to find out what's wrong with it. Other than that, check out the playlist on the screen and also the other video. If not, the best way to support this channel is to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. We'll see you when we tear apart either the STI engine or this engine.